Press conference on a FIO GCCI export conclave, which we have scheduled on the 22nd of March in Hotel Siddhartha Goa. It will start at 10 o'clock. I'll introduce the dignitaries who are present today. We have Mr. Nandakishore Kagliwal, who is the Regional Chairman FIO Western Region. Excuse me. Mr. Khalid Khan, Vice President FIO, will be joining us shortly. And we have Mr. Ralph D'Souza, the chairman, the president of Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The conclave is supposed to be held on Tuesday, 22nd March, and it will be one of its kind export opportunity for the business fraternity of Goa to explore and understand the potential of their products, commodities globally, and will help them in the exports ahead. What is happening today in Goa? There are two main earning sectors, that was mining and tourism, and both are not performing well. So we are promoting exports from Goan entrepreneurs so that they can support the Goan economy. There is no other way that we can go forward. I now request Mr. Kagliwal to kindly give the opening address. Mr. Kagliwal, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Well, at the very outset, a very warm welcome to you all for this very important press conference. Let me also express my deep sense of appreciation for Goa Chamber of Commerce for extending a wholehearted support for this conclave. Well, Goa, as you all know, has always been known all over the world as the tourist capital. Not many people know that Goa also has been a very prominent exporter of agri-produce, fisheries, and marine products for that matter. And Goa of late has emerged as an industrial hub for glass, fertilizer complex, tires, manufacturing of cement, electrical equipment, and more importantly, PCBs and pharmaceuticals. And there is immense potential. Exports from Goa so far have been around $1.23 billion in 1920, and in 2021 it recorded an increase to $1.7 billion. But obviously the potential is immense, and we as a nation have targeted to double the export volumes. So Goa should also be aiming to reach from $1.7 billion to about $3.5 billion in next 3 years' time. We as a country have a very ambitious target of reaching $1 trillion exports by the year 2028. In next 5 years, this is what we have to bring about. And if you look at the economic history of development of any country for that matter, and more particularly Southeast Asia, you will find that the economy has developed essentially on the shoulders of exports. It has been export-driven growth, whether it is Vietnam, Korea, for that matter China. You look at any country, and we have to bring about the same in our country. There is immense potential in Goa, and our effort therefore is to harness this potential, and let's all ensure that this conclave becomes a very useful platform to think of ways and means, specific programs, so that we can augment the exports from Goa. We are looking forward to this opportunity. And with these opening remarks, it's all open to the forum. Please feel free to ask whatever questions you have.
We'll ask our president, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, to kindly say a few words.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, and thank you very much for tying up with the chamber. The chamber considered this particular event as very important, not only for the Goa Chamber, but also for the members and for economy of Goa, and at large for the economy of India. Of course, exports is the mainstay of Goa. Over the last decade, Goa has been always an export-oriented state. We started largely with iron ore, bauxite and manganese. We were the premier exporters in commodities. But now since last 8 years, the mining has stopped. So the farm and the fisheries have stepped in, and we are making good progress. Besides the goods, we also export our services, and this export of services is done through tourism, where the international tourists, more than almost 1 million per year, visit Goa. And they are long-haul holiday makers and spend an average of at least 2 weeks. And that brings in a lot of foreign exchange again. So we export services as well. Now, after the mining crisis, there is a huge gap. And in spite of this, in 2020, we have achieved 1.7 million and 1.7 billion, I'm sorry. And we are quite sure that we will double this amount within next 3 years. Of course, one of the factors that gives me confidence is that mining will start in 3 years. But besides this, we have realized that the need of the hour today is to give a push to the engineering industry, the small-scale industries which are the backbone in of the manufacturing sector in Goa. We have started our exports, and most of this industry that we have in Goa, manufacturing industry, supply to some big other companies. So we are looking into making Goa an export hub of engineering goods also. We just concluded an event of engineering export organization, and where certain targets and certain roadmap we came up with that, and that is being chased by the chamber, and we are trying to make it happen. We have a huge membership, and largely they are from the manufacturing sector, and they are very excited about this new move that Goa is making. And I can assure you that this particular event that we are having today will go in a big way of giving a good boost, good positive vibrations, and a lot of assistance in terms of advice and the follow-ups that can take place to make these exports a reality. So I'm sure that within 3 years we will be able to come to the target of doubling the present export from 1.7 billion to $3 billion export. Yeah, thank you.
Great. I thank you very much. Let me just add a word about what FIO is. FIO, as you all know, is the Apex Organization of Exporters. As the name suggests, it's Federation of Indian Export Organizations. It's a 50-year-old organization promoted by the Ministry of Commerce. It has a pan-Indian membership, 25,000, which would represent almost 65% of country's exports. More importantly, it comprises, the managing committee comprises of all the chairmen of export promotion councils, export promotion boards. And I think basically FIO works on 3 mandates. Number one, it facilitates policy formulation at the apex level, at the country's level. It works more like a think tank. So there is a lot of input by FIO in facilitation of exports in terms of policy formulation. That's one. It also actively works in facilitating exports, increasing exports, by organizing B2B meetings, participating in trades, organizing delegations. And third important work that FIO does is capacity building of its members through seminars, webinars, different types of courses, and of course the present mandate where all of us as a nation have to work together to ensure that we reach $1 trillion of exports in the next 5 years' time. This is the mandate that FIO has, and we are looking forward to a very vibrant conclave And like you rightly said, we need to work out a concrete action plan to make this happen. There is going to be a good panel discussion, and I think panelists should throw up. My request to them would be if they can come up with a concrete action plan in their respective areas of work. Word to Mr. Khalid Khan, if you would like to add to what you have just now said.
Sorry, I came in. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I joined in late, so I was not aware what was happening. I was just listening to you and Mr. What was the basic thing? I mean, what was the question that is?
There is no question answer as yet. I, on behalf of FIO, expressed what FIO does, A, and B, what you think that will be forward to from this conclave. And the Chamber President, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, explained all about Goa and the potential it offers. And
no, I always fine. Thank you, Kaviwadi. I mean, this is a first of its kind conclave that FIO is doing, export conclave in Goa. I mean, we did a lot of seminars over a period of time. But a conclave on export, I think it's the first of its kind done by FIO, and I'm sure this conclave will give a lot of opportunities for the business fraternity from Goa to explore and understand the potential of different products that they can export out from Goa. Because Goa, as rightly said by Mr. Kagliwal, people when we talk of Goa, they think that it is basically a holiday destination or a tourism destination. It is an internationally acclaimed tourism destination, but that's not all about in Goa. Goa has huge potential in terms of mining, fishing, aquaculture, pharmaceuticals, which is now a big thing in Goa, and engineering products, as Mr. D'Souza said. They have a huge potential, but unfortunately, the world doesn't know about it, and there is no large awareness of these products in the global market. So that is the reason the contribution of Goa's product, in fact, to India's GDP, these products are also less. So to make the entire exporting community and the new entrepreneurs aware of this potential that they have in Goa, this sort of an enclave is being organized. And I'm sure this will not be the first and the last enclave. I'm sure either the Goa Chamber of Commerce or the state government of Goa will institutionalize this and will take it forward. I'm really excited and I'm really looking forward to join you all on day after tomorrow for this conclave. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you indeed. Mr. Munkar, would you like to add something? Or
Yeah, any questions from the press side? Can I answer?
Yes.
Or I will give a small brief.
तुम्ही एक्सपोर्ट वाढवू शकता खरं, पण अशा ऐकून येता की माझ्याकडे सफिशियंट स्टोरेज फॅसिलिटीज ना, स्पेशली फॉर पेरिशेबल गुड्स म्हणजे आता.
What they are saying is we want to increase the exports, but there is a problem of warehousing, especially for cold storages. So that's one of the issues the press is asking.
Can I?
Yes, sir.
Please.
See, Goa is coming up with the Mopa Airport, international hub, and the first aircraft is going to land scheduled to land on 15th of August. There will be a special terminal for cargo and a cold storage facility of international standard. The chamber is working very closely, and already we have visited the site, and the directors who are in charge of the project will be visiting the chamber shortly, where we are giving them the list of do's and don'ts. And one of the specific requests of the chamber is to expedite this facility of cold storage, because the whole region, that is South Maharashtra, North Kannada, as well as the entire Goa, the perishable commodities and food items can be exported from Goa, from this hub.
That is very happening because Goa can be the gateway for export of perishables with this type of good cold chain facility. And Goa has so many international destinations already connected because of tourism. So this would be an excellent opportunity for agricultural and marine exports from Goa.
And one more thing is Dharban, there is one logistics hub coming up. Government of Goa, IPB has already cleared it, so that is also there. At the airport, what is coming up is around 25,000 tons capacity cold storage unit is coming, especially to cater to this agricultural products and fisheries. That's what is happening. That is the plan. And one more advantage is the highways are connecting, good connectivity. So the dispatches which will happen of Karnataka will start coming to Mopa airport. So that is the plan. It is very closely connected. So let's hope that this goes up fast.
In fact, this could be a very big business for Goa because today the port basically for agri exports Bombay becomes the hub. So the entire material from Western Maharashtra and Karnataka can be exported through Goa. So Goa has that opportunity of becoming the key point for the gateway for exports.
I will give a small brief of the export conclave. It will be in 3 phases. In fact, it will be inaugurated by His Excellency the Honorable Governor of Goa on the 22nd at 10 o'clock in Siddhartha, Goa. There will be a panel discussion. We are also having exhibition of showcasing the business, industry, commerce, textiles, cashew and feni, tourism, art and culture, foodstuff, etc. Stalls will be placed. And in the second half, there is export training, that is orientation of entrepreneurs and exporters on vital aspects of international trade and commerce. This will be done by Mr. Ajay Sahai, who is the Director General and CEO of FIEO. So that will be from 3 to 5 p.m. On this occasion, I invite all of you to be present for that function in Siddhartha, Goa from 10 o'clock onwards. And the panel discussion which will take place consists of Mrs. Svetika Sachan, IAS, who is the Director of DITC. We have Mr. Ambar Timlo, the Managing Director of Fomento Resources Private Limited. Mr. Ralph D'Souza, Chairman of D'Souza Group of Companies. Dr. Shanbhoge, who is the Director of Civil Aviation and also in charge of the Mopa Airport. Mr. Neville Alfonso, who is the Director of Agriculture, and Captain Himanshu Shekhar, the Traffic Manager of MPT. So this will be the main panelists who will discuss. And based on that, what we are planning to come out is a white paper and how to promote exports. So we want to make an action plan for that doubling of Goan exports in the next 3 years. So that is the plan. And there is a backing from the Prime Minister's scheme also. That is one district, one product. So that point also will be discussed in this conclave. So this we were having in a big way. Almost after 2.5 years because of COVID, there was no scope. But now since COVID has gone and the economy is opening up, it is high time for Goan economy also to get on the bandwagon and increase the exports in Goa. Single day from 10 to 5 a.m. Okay, so most welcome. I give a formal invitation to all of you to come on that day. So further, okay. Anything else, sir? Yeah, Mr. Kalai.
I would urge upon all our colleagues from press to give this very wide publicity and to ensure that we have really good participation to be able to boost exports from Goa.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Yeah.